Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Christy Denny's. I'll be your instructor today. I am part of the Miami Trainers, and we'll be going over Remine Pro, meaning we'll be talking about how you can use the system as a potential MLS option. We also have part 2, which is Remine, Farming and Prospecting. Both of these classes are already recorded and available for you to watch. And at 11 a.m. today, we will be hosting a new class. It is brief, but it'll talk to you about the benefits of using Remine to be able to leverage your open house. We're going to get started on MiamiRealtor.com. We're going to scroll down to the middle of the page and we're going to select the Miami Gateway. This is going to give you access to all of your programs and services once you add in your username and your password. I did want to mention to you guys that we have a member notification that we would love for you to participate in. It will take you a short 5 minutes to answer. And if I click on show more, it'll give you access to that message. This in particular is going to be to benefit you and your business. It says Miami members help us better support your real estate career. Please take 5 minutes to be able to start this survey. To get started, you would just have to give this a little click. I would love if you can participate after class. To close this out, you would simply click on close so you can return back. I'm going to scroll down until we access our Remine program, which is this one right here. It looks like a little mouse on top of a little hand on top of a mouse. And if you hover over any of these icons, you'll get some insight into this program. So it says search the MLS, tax, consumer info, and more can be found here. If you are currently already using Remine, say yes in the chat. If you've never used Remine before, say never in the chat. So then we have an idea of our experience levels. Let's go ahead and take a look at that chat. Miguel never, so welcome to the program. And let's see, who else is with us this morning? Abel, welcome. Daniela, welcome. Thank you for being here. Isabel, good morning. Luca, good morning. Maria, Miguel, welcome, guys. Oriana, I hope I said that right. Good morning. Guy, good morning. Thank you for joining and for taking a class to help your business. I'm going to give this a little click. That's going to give me access to the Remine system. Good morning, Daniela. Never. Okay, perfect. And then Sky, good morning. All right, guys. So when we open up this program, we're going to take it nice and slow. I'm going to give you a view of the land, right? So that you know where everything is. So right when you get started, our first menu item says daily. It's like a little cup of coffee. And the whole idea behind Remine is that you would click on your daily screen and you would know what's going on in your business, right? So the first thing you can do is take a quick action. So if you have a new client that you need to invite into the system, you have this invite client option. If you're going to create for them a new saved search, either for yourself for prospecting or for that customer so that they can find property, you have a quick button that you can click on, create save search. If you wanted to begin a conversation with an agent, you have start chat. And then if you wanted to add in any additional cards to your main screen, you would click on add new cards. And if I click on this drop down, I have a list of all of the different cards that you can add in here, and we're going to break them down individually. You have a Twitter card. This is if you want to follow a specific account. You can follow one account per card. So if you wanted to add an additional account, you can add more than one. You have your listing updates. This is going to be updates in your service area based on the zip code that you put in. So if you want to manage a particular section, a particular market, you can do so right on Remine. Engage. This is what's going on with your customers. Who has accepted your invitation? Who's buying? Who's selling? How many invitations to the system have you sent? And how many people have actually accepted? My listings, you can see any of your listings. They're going to be available here. Even viewing your listings in your office, you can do that here. And then you can also search by listing depending on status. So if you had something that expired a few months ago or something that's pending, you can pull it from here. Market Pulse, I love this one, and I'm going to go into detail with you, but it's basically what's going on in my market, what's the inventory looking like, and what are the average prices. You've got any of your saved searches. So if you save a search, same thing as this one quick action up here, you can come back and view it all from one card. And then you have your property notifications. So property notifications and listing updates is a little different. So listing updates we know is what's going on in the market, what's canceled, what's active, what's new, based on whatever zip code you want. Property notifications have to do with properties that you are particularly following up on or prospecting for new customers. So you would take a neighborhood, for example, and you're sending out mailers, contacting them, looking for new business. If any of those properties in that list go from off market to active, you'll get a property notification so you can update, for example, your carts. So now that you know what's available, towards the bottom, you basically have those cards. So you have your listing updates, you have your market pulse. As I scroll down here, my property notifications, my engagement card, my listings. And now we're going to roll back and just kind of work them. So they can be in a different order. If yours are, then I like to teach you market pulse and listing updates together. So if you want to move these around, because they are customizable, there are 6 little dots at each corner, and you can click these little dots and you can drag the property card to wherever you want. Aside from being able to drag a property card, you also have the little gear that you can click on, and you're able to either delete a card or duplicate it. Another way of duplicating a card is clicking that add new card and adding in the additional card that you want. So for example, maybe I want 2 market pulses, 2 areas that I want to focus on. To delete it, gear, delete card. Okay, so it's customizable. Let's work your market pulse and your listing updates. But before I do, what are your questions if you have any? Let's take a look at the chat. Good morning, Abel. Good morning, Ariana. Okay, you've never used it as well. That's all right. We have Maria. She's used it before. And if you haven't ever used this before, these are recorded. So you can just enjoy it and then rewatch it on our YouTube channel, which I'll share with you. I don't see any questions, so let's keep moving through the material. So market polls, it says all. It says all. So what does all mean? That means all of Miami-Dade, Broward County, Martin, St. Lucie, Palm Beach. It's way too big of an area for it to be of any use to you. So it's better to pick your specific farming area. If you know your farming area, you can either submit a zip code and we can update the market pulse. If you want to share your zip code that you work, you can put it in the chat and we'll go ahead and use it as an example. The market pulse, whatever you add in here is going to reflect to your listing updates. And that's why I like to show them together. So I'm going to click where it says all. There's a little drop down arrow. I'm going to give that a little click and I'm going to enter a zip code. So I'm going to do 33133. Once I add that in, I'm going to press enter in my computer on my keyboard. And I'm going to take a second. Okay, Abel shared a zip code. Let's go ahead and use this one. Drop down 34953. Enter. All right, so once you press enter and it reflects, look at all the good info you get. So in this zip code of 34953, I have 55 that are active, but I also have the average price point in the last 7 days. 55 active listings, average price point 432,000. 12 are under contract. That average price is 424. So not a big difference between your active and your active under contract. But to be fair, you don't have to update the price. It's not a mandatory field. So let's take a look at the canceled. You have 4 with that price point of 489. You have 36 that closed at 403, 2 that are coming soon at 472, 11 expired at 509. 10 are pending at 418. 1 is withdrawn at 285. 7 are on hold. That average price is 449 with 138 status updates that's been done in the last 7 days at 431.5. Average valuation is 420 in the area, absorption rate of 11 days. So you get so much good info in one key card. Now, if I want to see this information reflected onto my listing updates, I have taken a little second. It says last 7 days up here. You can change it to today, yesterday, last 7 days, last 30 days. I'm going to focus on last 7. And then I'm going to do the same to my listing updates. I'm going to give this a little click and I'm going to enter my zip code. From here, I'm going to do 34953. I'm going to press enter. And then I'm going to update my listing. So whatever is reflecting here, I'm able to access it here. So if I wanted to look into one of these active properties, I'm going to give that a click so you can see one. Let's open up one of these property cards. All right, this is what a property card looks like. I think they look very professional. You have the address up at the top, days on market, listing dates is nice and available. We have its status, nice and bright, single family, detached. We have a estimate of equity. We have the owner information readily available on the top, the price point, the 3 bedrooms, the 2 baths, square feet and year built. And whatever actions you want to take on that card, easily accessible. I can share it. I can save it to a cart. I can create a CMA on here, message the agent, or print multiple reports. Let's go ahead and share this information. So let's say I'm going to take a click and I'm going to share it. And I have already a customer in mind. I can go ahead and input their email address. Send her a little message. Hi, Connie, let's discuss. Do you know Connie? She's one of my favorite instructors. And then before I click send, you've got another option down here, which I want to show you. You can copy this link. So that's another way that you can share. Let's send it through email by clicking on send. And then if I wanted to send it through WhatsApp, through a text, however you like, you have a link here. So I'm going to open up a new tab and just show you what they get. Do you have to update each card? Well, so far we've updated 2 to reflect the service area that we're interested in, and I would. If you don't, then it's going to show you all of the info. So a better bet is to customize it to you, Miguel. So I would start just updating Market Pulse and listing updates. These other cards like property notification, engage, and your listings, they automatically fill for you. Great question. So I wanted to show you the look and feel of the property card. So your customers, if they decide to start working with you and create an account in Remine, they can do their own searches up here. They can search by address, by city, by zip code, by MLS number. Your information is readily available to them. They can click on that and they can sign up. They can put in their name, their email, and they can sign up for you. This is the landing page that we're going to be creating today. It has your logo, it has your headshot, you pick your background image, and they're able to access your social media, your license, your email, your phone number, broker info. You yourself can share your profile. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can copy this link or send it through email. And then you have this additional info section here. Perfect for anyone who's interested in buying, but also excellent for anybody who's interested in selling. And the system will provide for them a valuation for the home. How does it do that? Because it's also a tax roll. So I'm going to move back into Remine, reshare this because I want the link. Since I don't want to log in right away, but I wanted to show you that that's an option. It's very easy for others to sign up as well. All right, but do they need an account to be able to see this property card? No. As they move through here, you've got nice big pictures, excellent for our customers who are visual. I think most of them are, especially when it comes to your home. You have the address and all of that basic info, nice and big for them. Things that they care about: bedrooms, baths, how big is the house, who's the owner, how long has they been there, what's the price point, is it a favorite, do I want to share it on social media or with a friend. I can contact my agent. I have all of their information, what they look like, their phone number, their email, the remarks on the home, a lot of white space, so it's easy to read, the valuation of it. And you get multiple providers here. So you can compare the valuation with the price point. You'll have the range that's available here. Your info stays on the side. They can see it on a map. They have access to a satellite view as well. And they even have this little Google guy who they can drop into that neighborhood and get an overview of where it's located. As they continue to move through here, I love this part. They get to see numbers. What's the purchase price? If I decide to finance, you have mortgage. If I want to pay cash, you have cash. Now, the purchase price, they have a little pencil and they can edit that information. As they move through here, they also have their monthly expenses. So based on that price, what's going to be an estimate of what your house is going to cost on a monthly basis. So if anybody knows what is maybe an updated interest rate that's going around now, I'm going to click on my pencil. I'll do an estimate of, I think it's closer to 6. So let's do 6% and we'll update that. And as I move through here, they can add in their property taxes, their HOA fees. I haven't looked, but just to show you. Their homeowner insurance, so that they can get a better quote on what they're thinking or what they may be spending on a monthly basis. As they move through here, also for your buyers, very important, what money do they need at closing? So the down payment, it's estimated at 20%. If they needed to change that, they can. Their lender policy premium, endorsement fee, settlement fee, and recording fee. They'll have access to this information right from the beginning. Now they'll have information about the listing. So you've got listing details, which is basic structural information about that house, the interior, the appliances, the bedrooms, the baths. Now this area is the public record information. So they don't have to go anywhere else. Right from this page, they have access to that. But what does it say? Sign up. And it's a benefit for you if they do sign up, because then you get to track their customer activity. So you have more control of your customer and your transaction. Property history, right? It's another little sign up so you can unlock all of the features. School information is here. So they're able to see the schools in the area, and it has their grades, and they can even see more schools. And this is provided by Niche, which is a great reference. And it'll tell you when's the last time they updated the information. Demographics, I can click on that drop down arrow, and here we have them. So if they want to know a little bit about that neighborhood, 39% have a college education, 43% have children, 65%, the average income is 65%, average age is just 36, average household had 2.9 people. So did you guys like this? I'm going to click on jump to view map. And they can scroll through it. This is the property card. So I'm going to close this out. And so far, We know how to share a property card one by one. All right. From here, I also want to go into the prints. These are different reports that you can make. You have an agent one, and you can decide, what do I want to add in here? But you also have, maybe for a presentation, a client full view. You can decide, do I want those valuations? Do I not? And then you can scroll through here and choose, all right, from the people that provide valuations, which one do I want? And then I can print them out to send it over to a customer or save it as a PDF. And this is what it looks like. Report created November 1st. Here's my address, prepared by, with my information. As I move through here, it's branded to me. It has the little Remine logo, and then it gives me all of that info on that property, including directions, listing details, etc. Again, a lot of white space, so it's very easy to review. You've got the property history on here, what's happened, all of the images is what ends the report. It's nice and clean, and your contact information is available on the bottom of each page. So if you like the look of it, the look and the feel of it, let's go ahead and talk about how you can use it to find property. So I'm going to click back on daily. And so far, we know how we can manipulate our cards and have information regarding our service area. And that's everything that's available under listing update. We can click and review these cards and how to share the cards so far and how to print reports. So if you guys have any questions so far, or whatever your questions may be, please share them with me. Let's move down into property notifications, which we talked about. These are any of the properties that you are following up with regarding your farming and prospecting. Here's a view of your engagement card. How many contacts do you have in the system? How many of those contacts have you invited? And out of those, how many are registered? And then as you move through here, how many are buyers? How many are sellers? Here's where you have access to those listings. You can click on My Listings and access your office listings as well. And then you can also find depending on status. So you can do all, active, etc. Let's go ahead and dive into a search. If I wanted to search the system, I would use the search button with a little looking glass. I can give that a click. And in order for me to search on the MLS, I want to click on listings. So you have listings, you have properties, and you have add filter. When you've clicked on listings, this is giving you the ability to search the system as an MLS option. If you're clicking on properties, this is how you search the system for farming and prospecting of new customers. You know you can farm and prospect on this section because you have add filters, but you also have an X on the left, and these are called your layers. Today's class, we're focusing on using it as an MLS, so I'm going to click on listings. Please take the farming and prospecting class. Either way, if you're interested, I'll send you over the recording because it is superb. How can I search the system? You can search by address, by city, by zip code, by neighborhood, by schools. So for example, let's say I'm going to do a zip code, 33133. Here's my zip code. I'm going to apply that filter. And now the system is going to go ahead and map out that zip code. To remove that, I have two options. I can either click on this X, or I can clear all my filters. So I'll do an example of clicking on the X. Another way that I can search is I can search by name of a city. So I'm going to do Miami Springs. I'm going to find city, and I'm going to apply that filter. And now it's going to map out and begin to give me results in Miami Springs. My count is on the top right. How do I remove Miami Springs? Now I'm going to do the clear all filters. Another way that you can search, you could do a neighborhood. Let's do Lakes of the Meadow. That is a neighborhood in Kendall. So it says cities. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to move into neighborhoods. And now it says Lakes of the Meadow. I'm going to apply that filter. And now it's mapping just Lakes of the Meadow, and it tells me how many properties are in that area. Now, again, I haven't added any of my filters yet. This is just showing you how to search. I'm going to click on that X. What else? A building. Let's say I did 500 Brickell. Here are my addresses. So I'm going to either click here. If I click the house, that's going to give me a property card. So specifically, I'll see a result for 500 Brickell Ave, apartment 3804. So I'll do that first because you guys have already seen the other filter. So it's going to take me specifically to this building. Now, why does my picture look like that? It's because it's currently off market. So you can search for properties that are available on the MLS and off the MLS. Let's close this out and show you the other option, 500 Brickell. Your other option is I want to simply apply that filter because I want all units. So I'm going to click show on map. Now, on the right-hand side, I'll have the available properties listed. But what I need in particular is 500 Brickell that's active so that I can see all property types. So I can sort, and let's say I'm going to sort, you can do by price, by bedrooms, by bath, square feet, year built, lot size, or property value. And then you can also add in a filter. So I'm going to click on add filter, and I need status, and I'm probably going to use it more than once. So I'm going to pin it. And now status is available here. So I'm going to click, and I'm looking for active in this building. So here I have my active properties in this area. Let me re-enter. And it'll show you this particular area and the listings within. So it'll show you we have 20 listings in here. We have 22 over here. $24 over here. So you can work your area. All right. So let's go back into a city, Miami Springs. And I'm going to do a regular search. Miami Springs, my status is already here. I'm going to do active. And now I'm going to add some additional filters. So I'm going to click on that drop-down arrow of add filters, and we already pinned status. But I'm probably also interested in maybe the listing type, the price, bedrooms, baths. We also have year built, lot size, square feet, has a garage, and parking spaces. I'm looking for active property. The listing type is my residential sale. That'll remove my rentals. And the price point, I can do a minimum or a maximum. So I'm going to do a max of 700,000. Well, let's go a little higher. We'll do a max of 850,000. I haven't added bedrooms or baths yet, but I have 2 results. So from here, I can go ahead and select these properties, and I'm able to send them out. So you have a select all option, or you can check them off individually. If I wanted to send one property at a time, I can. You can check this off. You can click on the card. And you can go ahead and send it to one of your customers. Or add it to a file that you're working on. Another option you may like is to select them all and also save the search. So up at the top, you have your save search option. You can name it. So this is Miami Springs under 800,000. And I can decide to save that search. And then it'll be available under my save searches. Option 2 is I can, well, decide to go ahead and send it over to a customer. I can type in their name. I can type more than one person in the same search if I wanted to. And then I can decide, do I want to send this out on a daily basis, ASAP, once a week, or never? I'm going to send it daily, send myself a copy, and then also save the search. So you can save a search and create an auto email and schedule it all from the same button. So now that we know how to search, we know how to send property out, how do we get our customers to start using the program with us? I'm going to move past search all the way down to contacts. Contacts is one of the ways that you can begin to engage your customers through Remine. All right. How do I add in a new customer? Top right-hand corner, you have add contact. You're going to give that a click, and it'll give you the option to put in their first name, their last name, their email, you can add more than one and select the default, their phone number, their address, and you can even add more filters, such as their birthday, information regarding their children, the contact type, contact key, contact login, their contact status, the department, job title, languages spoken, and really get into the nitty-gritty of updating a really good book of business. Once you're done, you can also add them to a group. So if you have a particular group that you want to add them in, these are my sellers. So I'm going to add them into my seller group, and then you save. Close. If you want to add different groups, you can. You have an plus add to group button that you can click on. So you can check off any of the customers, plus add group, and create their own specific one if you want to organize. So once you've created that contact will then be available within the system. And it'll let you know whether you invited them or not. If it says not invited, then you would click on invite. It says invite one contact. Do you want to invite this person to Remine? Yes. So again, an overview is, if you wanted to add a customer, you click on add contact first. When you save that contact, you then check them off and you click on the invite button on the top right-hand corner. And you have gone and invited them to begin using your system. You add groups in order to organize yourself by checking off that customer if they're not part of a group. And you can then click on add to groups, select, or create their own personal one. Another option to add groups is on the top left-hand corner. There's a plus sign where you can then also create your own particular group. If you just want to see those groups for your renters, for example, or your for sale by owners, you add them so that you can sort them that way. Okay. Going back to all contacts. If we feel good here, let's go on and talk about another way you can engage your customer. If you're not particularly adding them into Remine and sending them invitations, another option is to create that landing page. You can create landing page all the way to the bottom of the menu where it says your name. You can click on here and you can access, oh, it says your contacts will receive the invite shortly. Perfect. All the way at the end, it says your name. You're going to click on there and you have an additional menu that says settings. Click on settings. Once you click on settings, you can begin to fill out your landing page. Let's take a look at Abel says interested. Miguel, how does Remine and One Home differ? So that's a good question. How do they differ? So both of them have the ability for you to send properties to your customers. They are both assigned to big data. And the properties that are available through Matrix are also available through One Home. The difference is going to be the landing page. So you have a landing page that's available inside of Remine where you can invite a customer. The other one will be the look and feel of it. So depending which one you prefer. And the breakdown of a property price is available on both, but you do not have the closing estimate inside of One Home. So the idea is both of them are MLS options and you would pick which one you prefer to do what. But they do very similar things. Good question, Miguel. Isabel, I really need the recording of this video, please. Too much good info. I'm glad you're liking the class and we got this recording available for you. Sky, it's a lot to process. Recording, please. All right, I will send them over to you. So let's go ahead and work on that landing page. So far, we're going to add in our headshot. The next step is this is your account information. You want to just verify that this is correct. And then if you want Remine to contact you in a different way, you can add your preferred email or phone. As I move through here, this is the Moody Analytics integration. We're going to go ahead and skip this section. This is a filter that you can use for farming and prospecting. Display preferences. So these we want to make sure to update. And this is going to reflect on any of the reports you make, the client portal, etc. So we want to take a step clicking on the edit on the top right-hand corner and adding in our display license, display name, email, cell phone, and additional info, whatever you want to add here, clicking on save. Now, if you remember this page, or this information is part of the report that I showed you, and it's also part of the landing page that I showed you, where your customer can fill out the option of joining or creating an account. The next step is we're going to go ahead and create that landing page. So here, mine is already filled out, but you'll have the space to add in the name of your URL. I named mine CD Miami RE because that's my social media handle. You name it whatever you want. My recommendation is your first name and your last name. Also think about it because once you customize this URL, this is the landing page you can share with customers so that they can access your Remine system. You cannot change the URL once you named it. So that's why I like first name, last name, maybe the word real estate professional if you have a common name, but here you are. Now we fill out that landing page by adding in a photo. So you want to input your logo. You can choose one of the three backgrounds. I have chosen this one. You can just check off whichever one you like. And these pictures are in color, but the system will always show them in black and white. It's just the aesthetic. If you wanted to update your own photo, which I have, I added the Miami trainers. And you have the ideal dimensions here, 1920 by 360. Mine says change photo, but yours would say upload image. And then you have a welcome message that you can edit and update however you'd like. And then the edit button's on the top right-hand corner. Keep going. And we can add in our social media. So clicking on that edit button, that'll open up your Facebook, your Twitter, your YouTube, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Google Maps. You need the full address. So as you see, it's facebook.com/CD Miami RE. Same thing for Twitter, my full YouTube channel. So you need the full address, not just the handle names. Clicking on save. Listing displays. The system already wants to show your listings, already wants to show your sold listings. If you have these off, for example, they're on a gray, just click on the X to toggle them on. And then get me an offer allows clients or customers to request an offer on their home. So from here, I would leave this toggled off. They should have a conversation with me specifically. But if you were interested, you can toggle this on. As I scroll down, you have notifications. If you want to receive those chats, because chat can happen through Remine from other agents, you can decide, okay, send me an email on this so that I can know what's coming in. And then you have that email cart notification. So we talked about all of the updates from the prospecting lists. If you want to get that update, I think monthly is good. And then I can go back in, delete any of the properties that are no longer off market from my marketing. And then towards the bottom, you can text your cell phone, the mobile link of Remine. I would hold off on this until the beginning of next year. They need some updates that they're still pending. So once we're done and we did all our changes, we are ready to see our profile. So I'm going to scroll towards the middle and I'm going to copy that link and then I'm going to share it. So I'm going to open up a new tab. You guys already saw this, but this is another way that you can engage those customers to join your page. So here I have it. It's black and white, as I told you. And we've added in our logo, our headshot. This is that custom message that you could do, the social media that I added, and your contact info. So I would take a second. You can share this however you want. You can put it on your social media, etc. The third way that you can start to engage your customers is build them out their own folder. So if you have a customer who's interested in maybe not a saved search, because we know that a saved search will send anything that applies with my search, and they may be a little bit more particular, or you need to screen what you're sending them, I would build out a cart. So how do I do that? I would move into carts. And I would add myself a new cart. So I would click on the plus sign. And then I'm going to say that Connie's moving, because I can name it whatever I want, to Miami Springs. And then I'm going to create that cart. All right. And if I wanted to share this cart, I can. So I'm going to click on share cart, but I want to be able to assign her to it. So I'm just going to add her back in. Perfect. So I'm able to share it. All right. Now, once I have a cart, she knows she has a cart. Any of my auto emails can go out to her. But aside from that, I can also send her one-offs. So for example, I can go into my search and instead of sending her everything, I'm going to clear all searches. I'm going to move into Miami Springs. select, and add in my preferred filters. All right. I showed you how to pin them, but you can also click on the word. I want active, and the listing type is residential sale, and the bedrooms are a minimum of 3, and I'm happy here. I have 13. I can select this, cart it. Connie goes to Miami Springs, and I'm going to add that property to the cart. So only that one property heads her way. So far, let's go ahead and click on our search. So far, we've learned how to search the system, how to access listings, how to add, pin, and select filters, how to send property as a one-off using a cart, how to build carts and access them in our menu items, how to open up property cards and share them with either an email or a link. Oh, I can copy this link, by the way. And if you're a social media user, I can highlight a property. So I'm going to move into my Facebook. This is another great way to engage my customers. And I can paste that link. And it looks really good. Put in whatever talking point I want and post. Voila. That looks awesome. They'll go directly into the landing page for this that we made. They'll have access to Remine, and they can choose to sign up and see all the info on my card. So let's say they do sign up. We are being active on social media, or we've invited some customers to join and they've accepted, or they clicked on our landing page. How do I track what that customer is doing? That's where Engage comes in. So you have a section called Engage that you can click on. And you can see what's happened. So I have the invite. I invited them. They've been registered for 3 years. And they themselves have created 3 searches. So you're able to see the activity because they can create searches. You'll have access to their info, meaning they get a questionnaire of what type of home do you want? What's your budget? What's your time frame? And I'm able to access in the last 30 days what they saw, what they shared, what they favorited, and if I created a tour. Any of the notes that I want to add with this customer, I can add it here. So spoke to customer, we'll begin that search again in October. What are their favorite properties? Favorites are available here. What are the shared properties? Right? What have they shared with others? What are their saved searches? I can access these. So I know exactly, all right, they told me they're interested in Miramar. Why am I seeing Coral Gables here? It's a great way that the system is going to give you that info. Another few talking points for you before we wrap. Inside of the search, let's say you looked at these filters and you're like, you know what? I'm not used to the filters this way. And what if I need more filters? If you need more filters, on the top right-hand corner, there's a section called Advanced. And you even have more results that you can preview, or more filters that you can preview as I scroll through here. We have property features like listing type. You've got subtypes. You've got your senior community, yes or no. You've got additional location filters. You can search by the lot. You can search by the street, the subdivision, the land. Is it for lease or no? Interior features, garage information, parking information, exterior feature, pool, waterfront. You've got HOA details, so you can put a range if you want. Type of association. None is an option. Maintenance and parties. So you have more filters that you can look at. Plus, for those of you who are interested in looking at all of your results as a result grid, you also have list results on the top if you don't want to look at it just on the map. And you can do the same things. Click, click. And you can cart like I showed you, or select all, and you can save that search. All right, let me move back into the daily. So in today's class, this is part 1 of the class. I wanted to be able to give you an overview and show you the most important things. How do I create a quick action? So again, invite a customer, create a saved search, or start a chat. How can I manage my markets? And how can I search? Under search, how can I create an auto email and save a search? Save searches. How do I send it as a one-off? Cart. Now, before you cart that way, you want to add or create the cart like I showed you. And then how do I share my information, or how do I share those properties? We showed the links. We showed inside of your contacts how to add those contacts, how to create your lists, and how to invite your customers. Now, before I wrap up, I want to show you my favorite part of the system. But let me know if you like it so far. If you find Remine user-friendly and you like it, put like in the chat. Just write the word like. So we have an overview and we know how Remine feels to you guys the first time you've seen it, because some of you have never looked at it before. So if you like it, put like on there. I'm going to click on search and I'm going to show you my favorite part. So let me close out this search, which, by the way, you have this nationwide search here. So if you're looking for tax roll information, oh my goodness, did we talk about the coolness of the tax roll information? We didn't. Let me do one quick little Miami Springs, give that a little click. You normally have to go to multiple places to find the tax roll. In this option, let me just click on active one. I have everything on the same page. So I'm going to give one of these a little click, because we talked about this, how we can share it, how we can do, how it's printable. We could run a CMA. Maybe we'll run a CMA. We can save it to a cart. We can share it. But as I move through here, you got remarks and you've got public records, tax and assessments, property history, schools, valuation. So you can click on public record and you get all of that info. Tax and assessments, it's all right here for you. Property history is all right here for you. That's one of my favorite things, that it's all available. You even have owner and associated people. Okay. And they have a very high buy score. But let me close this out and show you my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to move from listings into properties, and we mostly cover this in Remine farming and prospecting. So I'm going to put Remine farming and prospecting in the chat. And I'm going to show you how cool. So I'm going to find my favorite neighborhood because it's huge. Lakes of the Meadow. And look, neighborhood, Lakes of the Meadow, apply. The farming and prospecting is really cool. Add the filter. I'm going to do off market and I'm going to pin it. I'm going to click on off market and I'm going to click on off market. So now I know I'm in my neighborhood and there's 2,247 results and I'm only looking at property that's not on the MLS. If I wanted a prospect, let me click on a little cluster down here in this neighborhood. Based on property value, meaning I only wanted to find in this neighborhood properties that are valued at more than $1 million. I can filter that way. I can do a minimum or a maximum. If I wanted to find the houses with a lot of equity, so I can contact them about using that equity as a down payment for a future home. I'm not just saying, hey guys, I'm a new agent in the area. Contact me for your buying and selling needs, which is fantastic. But you can get really specific about your marketing message. So I want to find the homes that have more than 500 to 750 of equity. And I can target them. Or, well, I can engage with them. You also have ownership time. So if you just bought a house, you're probably not interested in purchasing a new one, but maybe I want to find individuals who've been there for 10 to 15 years or a minimum of 10. Sell score. Love sell score. So sell score is an algorithm by Remine, and it's going to show you what homes are most likely to be listed in the next 12 months. And if I click on high, that's a high probability, a medium probability, and a low probability. Out of this corner, 452 results of this neighborhood, I'm going to apply. And out of this corner, I have 7. Now I'm going to click on my minus sign, and it's going to expand so I can see the whole neighborhood again. 35. If I was going to do anything, it would be to contact these 35 people. Another option. Absentee. I can find people who have a corporate ownership, owner occupied, meaning I only want to talk to the people who live here. Absentee in state, meaning I want to talk to the people who don't live in the house, but they do live in Florida, but they may be renting it. So maybe that's a good option. Maybe they need somebody to lease it. Maybe they need somebody to sell it, or I can communicate with the renter and I have another list there. Absentee out of state. These people don't even live in the state. So I'm going to apply this one, but they have property here, and I'm going to take out the high sell score. There's 18. That's a very specific marketing message. What does that mean? It's less expensive, number one. Number two, I can be much more consistent and I'll have better return on investment. Why? Because it's a specific message. So it's now 10:30. I only have an hour with you guys. In-person classes are 2 hours. But I'm going to show you, if you want to stay, I can select them all and I can cart them. And I can say, okay, I want to talk to my absentee owners, Lakes of the Meadow. Click. Add these 18 properties to a cart. And I'm going to use the system a little different. I'm going to go back into my cart, but I'm not going to do it as if Connie's moving to Miami and I've assigned it to her. No, this is for us. So I'm going to check these off and I can decide to export the data. So I'm going to put, I want their phone numbers and emails. I'm going to select that I want property address information and owner information. These are my defaults. And I'm going to get those emails and those phone numbers, whatever I have. It's a small list. So when you do this, I prefer that your sample's bigger. Try 300. The next option I want to show you, what if I want to send them out a mailer? I can click on the 3 dots where it says more, print mailing labels. I want the owner's information, so I need their mailing address. And that's going to go out of the state. My labels are now available for me to see. Let me just make sure you guys can see it. Yes, you can. And here it's Chicago, Oakland, St. Michael's, in Bogota. I've got my mailers. What if I want to contact the tenant? Then all I got to do is current resident, mailing address, change it to property because it's the home. print labels. Ha! Now I can communicate with the renters. Maybe they're interested in purchasing in this area. What if I want to send out a mailer, but I don't want to do the legwork? This system works with another system, PCM Digital. So I'm going to do mailers to tenants. Actually, mailers to owners, absentee. Too long. Mailers to absentee, build mailing campaign. Voila. I can do a postcard for 14 bucks. I can do a medium postcard for 15. I could do a small, well, this is a large one. 6 by 11 for 17. I could do letters. I could do yellow letters. I could do snap aparts. Okay. And it'll guide me through and do the mail merge for me. And this includes the mailing, the art, and it takes you a few minutes. We do this in farming and prospecting. And then lastly, let me pull my alerts. Here you have all your lists that I've ever created. I can download it. It'll come out as an Excel. And if I have phone numbers, it will be available as well as the emails. Right on this list, let me move my screen here. Here I have owner 1, owner 2. This is my email addresses and phone numbers that I have available for these individuals. Do I have them? No. All? No. But you have some. And you can get a bigger sample to start off those campaigns. So this is an overview of how you can use Remine as one of your MLS options. Thank you so much for being with me this morning and for even going over a little bit with me for the last 4 minutes. But thank you so much for being one of our Miami members. And I got a wow, this is so good from Abel. So I see that you liked it. Sky, lot. It's good. Need to keep repeating this recording to be able to get into my brain. Too much. Thank you. We like it. Awesome. So I applaud you for taking a step. It's November 1st. I know that all those holiday feelings start trickling in November, but this is a great time to take classes. I'll be sure to send you guys over the recording. If you like this recording, I'll go ahead and I'll post it. And then at 11 a.m., we're going to do a very quick overview of open houses and how you can use Remine for an open house. You guys were an amazing class today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. If I don't see you at 11, if you're coming in at 11, I'll see you soon and I'll be emailing those recordings. Bye, everyone. Thank you for being Miami members.